Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. Yep, we're back Saturday night and we're here for you. Boy, when I'm out and about looking for music and finding music to bring to the show, every once in a while, because people know what I do, someone will come up to me and say, you should check out. So you all know about my friend Marco. He's on the radio. His show is Thursdays from noon to 3, Punk Rock Jukebox. Check it out, 90.9 FM. Little plug for Marco. But Marco and I were sitting watching some music happen at the Hygienic Art Park. And Marco asked me if I knew this particular musician. And I was like, no, I think I've seen her on Facebook. But so, you know what I had to do? I had to go stalking her. And I stalked her and I sent her a message. And then I found out that she was going to be playing at a Pass the Guitar, raising money for homeless hospitality or community food pantry, I don't know, out in Meriden. So I took my lovely bride and we went stalking in person. And she got up on that stage and she killed it. She's not normal. She's not normal. She plays originals, which we all know that Grandma loves here in the attic, but she does originals that have a message with a rhythm that gets your attention. She's a piece of work. She's original, she's forthcoming, she's a real human. And I'm blessed that Marco put her in my path. And I'm even more blessed to tell you all that you're going to be blessed by her tonight. You're going to have such a good time listening and watching Miss Lys Guillorn.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Dot. That was really...
I told you.
Really nice. I'm embarrassed and happy and grateful to be here in Waterford. This first song is called Nothing to It.
I was tied to the rails by Calvary's cross, defeated and deranged and left for dead. I rose from the grave of the life that I'd left, defeated and deranged. There were people standing in every corner in town, and those who were hidden in the bushes. The fire never ceases, the clouds never part to reveal the sky at large. I heard echoes in the hills of the ones who survived, who wrote what they knew and stuck to it. I hovered in a cave, a philosopher drew and spoke of Socrates. That's how I do it. There's nothing to it. Between the air and the wall, there's infinite space. There is a limit that can never be reached. Going half of the distance from here to the door for those who studied calculus. That's how they do it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. Merrily we roll along or hide in the woods. Yea, verily we watch the shadows crawl until there's nothing at all. Nothing at all. Outside the windows we watch the shadows fall. I heard echoes in the hills of the ones who survived, who wrote what they knew and stuck to it. nothing to it. Defeated and deranged. Defeated and deranged. There's nothing to it. Defeated and deranged. There's nothing to it.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you. All right. This next song is kind of new. It's called Sassafras.
Will you recognize me when we get there? Or when you are Hamlet and I am your skull? Would you see my dented cranium and get sad-eyed and misty? I think about you all the time. Won't you please remember me? Kiss me, sassafras, I feel you shiver in my skin. I can't replace the parts of me that broke when you got in. Since you became a window and I became a door, I melted down my armaments so I could win the war. I'd crawl in dirt to satisfy the smallest of your whims, but I can't replace the parts of me that broke when you got in. Diamonds are worthless, although they don't come cheap. Life is but a moment, the plastic is for keeps. When gravity reverses and we're blown out into space, at least you know I told the truth I didn't wanna face. Your memories entombed in a museum in my mind, organized in cases with the words you left behind. You rearranged my molecules and pulverized my bones in this dusty old pavilion. You are my cornerstone. Kiss me, sassafras, I feel you shiver in my skin, but I can't replace the parts of me that broke when you got in. Will you recognize me when we get there? Or when you are Hamlet and I am your skull? Goodbye, sassafras, for sure I'm trading gold for tin, but I can't replace the parts of me broke when you got in. That quit when you came in. That quit when you came in. When I am your skull. When I am your skull.
Thank you. This song is also in D. It's called MK.
You could never pay attention enough to get a read on me when there are too many things to say. Too many things to say today. Your tongue might get blistered, though in your defense, you don't know what I meant when I said what I said. So I might let go. I might let go. I might let go. Come on and get me. There's a dream within a dream, and my eyes are open wide, my hands stuck to my sides, knowing we're gonna die. There's a dream within a dream, from when I wasn't feeling great. In fact, I felt like hell, crawling out of the well. So I might let go. I might let go. I might let go. Come on and get me. I wasn't happy as a child when on Halloween a neighbor saw me smiling, smiling, smiling. It was the mask that freed me. If you get my meaning, I might let go. I might let go. I might let go. Come on and get me. 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 Thank you.
So much fun.
Thank you.
I'm going to go live on Facebook.
All right. Live, straight to the internet. All right, this song is about staring out the window at the beginning of the pandemic with my cat Dolores draped around my shoulders, or carrying her like a little baby, and us sitting there staring into the uncertainty while spring erupted. And yeah, it was beautiful and grounding, and I don't know what I would have done without those moments watching the birds, so this is that.
and I are listening to the wind. The passage of time gets under my skin, and I try to behave normally. Whatever does that mean? While a squirrel watches me outside the window, the shadow of our house creeps down the yard. The daffodils bloom, the trees are leafing out. The last time that I drove to work, the weeping cherry trees were beginning to turn green along the highway. The golden hour sunlight in the valley below. Would I have ever seen it the way I see it now if this had never happened? What from this life will I remember when I am outside around friends again? Will I recall all the details I have noticed here today? Or will I push away what I've been thinking? How transgressive will it feel to hug everyone I meet? Will the bells ring out in the street just like on Easter morning? Just like on Easter morning, Dolores and I, Dolores and I, Dolores and
Hoo-hoo.
Thank you.
What a great name for a cat.
Well, she sort of walked up my driveway and said, "I'm your cat now." And I said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Dolores."
I love that when our cats speak to us.
I'm leaning into the cuckoo cat lady personality. So much so that my band is now going to be called Lys Guillorn and the Void Kittens.
That's so
Yes,
cool.
The Void Kittens. It's metal, but also twee at the same time. You know, a little bit of both. All right. This song is called Wolverines.
We're wolverines when you make the scene, 'cause there's nothing new left to do. We speak candidly, we bite and clean, 'cause there's nothing we cannot do. I made a land speed record with myself. I teeth and claws, 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 teeth and claws. I was moving in half steps, now I wanna survive, survive. If we're only telling stories, tall tales to keep us both alive. I'm good, so good, so good. We are wolverines. What does that mean? There is nothing else we could be. Would you show mercy, trade me for you, or would you fight beside me too? I made a land speed record. With myself I ran and became teeth and claws, 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 teeth and claws.
Thank you.
It was so much fun to watch.
Oh, thanks. Not too much like a Muppet.
Muppets are
Muppet.
fun to watch.
That is true. I love Muppets.
Me too.
All right. We'll work on the puppet versions of ourselves then for next
We
time.
talked about that
Yes.
earlier. That would be fun, right?
Yes. The Grandma's Attic all puppet review. All right. I'm going to take a risk and try something new. Might go totally wrong, but we'll figure it out. It's a song about a dream I had in which I was more fun than I am in real life. That happens sometimes. You meet people who don't actually exist, and then you just hang out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's called Cartwheels.
Cartwheels in a parking lot, a memory I've almost got. Upside down, it's such a thrill. Turn me around, you know I will. I don't think I've ever laughed like I did yesterday. Memorize the moment before it begins to fade. Sitting on a thrift store couch, I lean in and feel your breath. So close, almost touching knees, singing Elliott Smith harmonies. You remembered who I was before I had the space. You said I was was known for my strength, and you were known for your grace. Your grace. I don't think I've ever laughed like I did yesterday. Memorize the moment before it begins to fade. How can I know who you are if I don't know who you Cartwheels in a parking lot, a memory I almost have.
Nice.
Thank you. This next song is called Wisdom Teeth. This might be my last one before we talk. Does it seem like it? Yeah?
One more after this.
One more after this? Okay.
It's been a long, long night, like dry socket from my wisdom teeth, where the doctor took them out of me. My tongue keeps going where it shouldn't be. Froth and water, broken glass, coral, seaweed, and It's been a long, long night, like dry socket from my wisdom teeth, where the doctor took them out of me. My tongue keeps going where they used to be.
Thank you. All right, so I'll do one more and then we'll chat. The song is called Objects in the Mirror.
Once burned, once bitten, hiding under a blanket. The sun rises in a neon smear, as if everyone were welcome here. I felt so tired. Every minute, the angle's higher. The hope machine sometimes gets broken, and then day drops in another token. Jewel tones like a garden, my thoughts swirl in muddy circles. Bright morning changes into a hazy, unpleasant. Another gray light afternoon, Route 8 north for breathing room.
Thank you.
Okay, so while Lys gets her guitar down and comes over and mics up, let me remind you, we are into warm weather and outdoor music. So, thehygienic.org, check it out. You'll see a list of what's coming up. Also, not because they're like a favorite or anything, but Sister Funk is coming to New London. 2 dates, check them out. Go to sisterfunk.com. I think that's wrong, but I think that you can find them on Facebook under Sister Funk, and all their dates are there. So get out, support live music, and actually tonight, while we are watching this show, Dog Bite is down at the 33. So you're watching the show or you're watching Dog Bite. I hope you're watching the show. Sorry, Dog Bite. All right, let's talk to Lys. Hi, honey.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you here. I have been excited about having you on this show for over a year.
Thank
right?
you.
Am I
yeah,
right?
Yeah, we were waiting for the right, safe, auspicious.
Safe.
Yes.
And so I have to ask you, how do you know Marco?
I met Marco through Stephanie Johnson, who is a friend of mine.
She's also a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I love her dearly.
And they're both delightful people. So I mostly catch up with them online, and periodically I see them in person, and I'm always delighted.
Well, I went live with you and tagged Marco.
Oh,
So
cool.
he'll see this, and I'm going to surprise him with a DVD of this
Oh,
show.
that's nice.
Because I don't think his cable channel gets it. But anyway, he'd have to wait till the next morning, whatever. So yeah, Stephanie is also someone that I love and admire. She's taught me a lot in my walk, you know, about stuff. Let's talk about you. That's my goal.
All right.
When did you start playing music?
I picked it up as a very little kid because I always had access to instruments. My mother didn't play seriously, but there was a guitar around the house. We had a piano. Then
Every house should.
And it was great having that access. And really, she taught me how to have a musical ear and how to listen to music.
There you go.
And that's how I'm able to learn even my own songs, is to hear what I hear in my head and then translate that into reality.
So you hear music in your head?
Yes.
So the only music that I hear in my head is other people's. And I think that hearing music that you create in your head is a gift.
Thank
I
you.
believe that the universe has blessed some people, not me, with that gift of music happening here. And I am so grateful. I am so grateful for people like you that write music like yours.
Thank you.
Your music is so unique and so individual. Why do you think you write like that instead of like the hundreds of other people that write music all the same?
I don't think I possibly could. I don't think I could do it. I was born different. And
I love that.
Different. And I always had words in my head and music separately. And then when I was a teenager, I went through some heavy times. And all of a sudden, the stuff started getting mushed together. And when I went to college, I was in a couple bands. And I hated parties. So the best way to deal with a party was to get up and play music and not have to talk to anybody.
Right. So, yeah. Oh my God. I get you. I get that.
Yeah,
I get
like
that.
horrible terror. I'll just get up in
hate
front of
crowds.
100 people and play
I hate
instead.
crowds. But
Yeah.
if I'm emceeing the show
Right.
or if I'm putting the band on stage, then I'm part of that.
Right.
And I don't have to be part of crowds.
Yeah, I don't know why. Neurodivergence, I'm not sure. Put together wrong or differently, yeah.
Put together, there's nothing wrong about us. We're just different. And I think that, now your words just happen in your head? Or does something trigger you to, well, you had a dream and wrote cartwheels.
Yeah.
So tell me about that process for you.
Usually a phrase will come to me, or I'll hear something and I'll squirrel it away in a notebook. And then all of a sudden, when I'm sitting down to write, little bits of those pieces I've collected, like sea glass, come together into a little
nice.
sculpture. And sometimes I'm far away from a guitar, far away from any musical instruments, and I can just hear something the way I think it needs to be out in the universe, and then I have to try to learn how to play whatever my head came up with.
Nice.
So
it's like a total different entity, your head. It's your muse. But your head is different from you because your head tells you what to do.
yes, that's true.
I love that. I love that. You've written a bunch of songs and been doing music for apparently a long time. Why do you keep doing it?
I feel compelled to. I would always be expressing myself in whatever way through art or music or writing, whether or not I was playing in front of an audience. But I realized during the last 2 years how much I do depend on that kind of interaction with an audience who really appreciates what I'm doing for my own well-being. And with an audience, I have access to the bravest version of myself that I don't have access to, just me alone in my house.
Wow.
So, yeah, getting emotional here.
I was going to say
Yeah.
thank you for that. That transparency is so important. And I think that the pandemic, as much as we've hated it, has taught those of us that were self-aware enough to learn from it, especially those of us that have that two-sided introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert, because that's what I am. If I told people I was an introvert, they'd be like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I really am. But when I'm out here, I have to be extroverted. I have to put that extrovert mask on. And I think you're a lot like that.
Yeah.
And then we look at who we were when we were secluded and we couldn't be extroverted. What kind of lessons, I know you wrote music during the pandemic, what kind of lessons do you feel like you really took from that kind of solitude?
I realized how much serotonin I get, dopamine from watching other people's shows, and going for too long without seeing live music has a devastating effect on my mental health.
Me too.
So as soon as music came back, I was much happier. There were some outdoor gigs, especially at Best Video in Hamden. It was like a hard reset on my brain. I needed that. I realized how much time I need outdoors, and I don't always get when I'm working. So I'm trying to incorporate some of those things, trying to take things a little slower, trying to evaluate, do I really need to do this, whatever that is. There's a note in my calendar that says,
stop.
Is this the right thing for me? You've only got so much lifetime. It's precious. I think we've all lost people in the last 2 years, whether due to COVID or other things. And carrying those people forward and doing good things because they can't be here to do them. It's important.
I agree with you a lot. I've lost, in the last 4 years, not just the last 2, I've lost really important people. And it's important for me to move forward and do something to, now this will sound crazy, but I know that you're going to relate to it. Change the world, even if it's only one person at a time. And we do that. I do it my way, you do it your way. But music has the ability, should I say it, to save lives.
Yeah.
And your music, so especially, I mean, I have a lot of musicians on my show. I really do. We go through 2 musicians every 2 weeks. Every week there's a new musician on the show. Sometimes I bring them back. But each musician brings something. But not every musician is unique to the point that you are. Every musician has something special, but not everybody takes uniqueness to the extreme that you do. Even in your name, even in your name, there's an extreme uniqueness. Now, just tell us, is this the name that you were given at birth?
It is. Yeah, Lys Beth, but my mom always says I would go blah, blah, blah. If someone tried to call me Beth, I would freak out.
Okay.
So this
Why
is me.
that?
I don't know. I mean, it might be too feminine for me.
Okay.
And as a non-binary person, I think I'm just Lys Guillorn. That's just what I am.
Right.
I thought over the last year with all these questions,
Right.
do I need a different name? Nope. Lys is what I am. This is it. This
It's
is what a Lys
perfect.
Guillorn looks like.
It's perfect
Yeah.
for you. It's so perfect for you. And thank you for encouraging other people to own their self, own their uniqueness, own their selves, and own who they are. Not just out here, but in here. You know, we can't do anything past the palm of our hand. We can't. But everything that's back here, that's what we have the ability to do something about. That whole powerless thing comes into play for me. And I think that people that recognize that can change the world in such a big way. If you could do only, this is all you can do for the rest of your life, is one more show. And you could invite one, either group or one solitary act to come and join you. Where, when, and who would that show be?
That's
There's
rough.
your question.
I don't know. I can't pick just one. But I really, that is stupefying.
Where would you do it? Where would you do it?
I mean, if I could play Newport Folk Festival as a last show, that would be cool. Or even a big deconsecrated church somewhere in Connecticut. It doesn't matter where the show is. I could play in somebody's backyard and have it be my last show. Almost every show, one song in, I think, this is my last show. But yeah, it's hard to do this as a, fragile human being on the planet.
We're all
Yeah.
fragile. Some people don't recognize how fragile they are until they break.
Yeah.
So you couldn't answer my question. I want you to think about that
Yeah.
question, because when I have you come to the radio station,
Yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
ask you
All right.
again.
That's my assignment.
So that is your
Okay.
assignment. Do you ever get, I don't want to use the word stumped, but do you ever dry up when it comes to writing music? Do you ever get a dry spell where you don't feel like you can write? Or that
Definitely.
you don't feel like you can produce music?
Yes, and I think fallow periods are necessary, just like in nature.
Okay.
There's a resting period the soil has to go through, and there's always stuff percolating underneath.
Okay.
And that's
Yep.
when little things get written down, or I reset my mind, and then it all comes out later. I just have to trust it. Sometimes it feels like musical constipation. If it gets
I get
bad
that.
enough. If it
I
gets bad
get
enough.
that.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem with, well, because I don't write music. But I mean, I don't have that problem with other things that I do. But I can understand it. I can understand it. I used to write something close to poetry back in the day. And then they put me on medication, and that ability to do that went away. And there are I don't miss it, but I know that not having that ability has kind of changed me a little bit. I wouldn't go back to who I was when I was writing poetry and give up my medication. Sorry, but mental health issues are real. Just owning it. Yeah, I wouldn't give up the happiness and the contentment that I'm able to achieve today by giving up my medication.
Right. Yeah, me either.
No. I wouldn't do that. But sometimes I wonder about the poetry that got, you know what I mean? So I understand the constipation. I love what you're doing. Let's talk about some things that are really important for our viewers. Where can people find you?
People can find me at lysguillorn.com, and I realize that's difficult to spell, LYSGUILLORN. Or you could go to littlecowgirl.com, and that will forward you where you need to go. Little Cowgirl, my record label, the cowgirl is my mother. I have
Okay.
a photograph of her as a child, and she's
Okay.
the mascot of
All right.
the record label.
Nice.
So, LysGuillorn.com, littlecowgirl.com, or lysguillorn.bandcamp.com.
Okay. Do you have a page on Facebook that people
I have
can?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the things.
All those
Yeah,
things.
all the things.
Do you have any upcoming shows after tonight would be the 21st of May? Any shows after tonight?
Yes, May 26th, I'm at the Cellar in Hamden
Nice.
with Zach Anderson.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, how cool is that?
So he booked me on his Storytellers in the Cellar with
Oh my
Sean O'Reilly
gosh.
and Calendula. So we'll be at the Cellar on Thursday the 26th. Yeah,
How serendipitous is
Totally.
that?
yeah.
Did you know that he was going to be
No,
on here
not until
today?
today.
Not
Yeah.
until this morning
Yeah.
when I posted it. Oh my gosh. That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. So get out, support live music, support local live music. Go find her stuff. You can get her music. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Spend that money. You know. Spend some money. Yeah. Okay, so my final question. Will you take us out with a song?
I sure will.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much for having me.
I'm so blessed to have you here. And I'm so glad that we're going to go forward in our path, knowing each other and growing to know each other more, because you're an amazing human. Take your thing
All right.
off. Okay, so while she gets over there and gets hooked up to play another song, let me remind you that the hot summer months can be dangerous times. Do not let your pets go out on hot tar with bare feet. It is not a good thing for cats and dogs to walk on hot tar. It's also not a good thing for children to walk on hot tar with bare feet. They need sandals, socks, and sneakers. Your next door neighbors that are elderly need water. If they have no cooling units in their windows, see how they're staying cool. Please, let's support our community, take care of our neighbors, and love one another. I hope that you all have a really great week. Zach Anderson next week, you're going to freak out because he's really good too. All right? I love you all. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks so much, Dot. This song is called Hand to Heart.
I'm made of permeable materials, and membrane thins the veil between words. Sometimes I get lost in sensations big and small, with a tremble that proves that it can't be fun. I am so broken that I'm fixed again. I'm not afraid to climb the walls. Now I'm sending through a few words from me to you. It's the best kind of therapy I can do with animal feelings. Electric sunshine, an obvious light bulb. Just keep singing. Hand to heart, you are the best of me. Now you live inside my head, swirling around in my cup of tea. I'd rather we were dancing instead. Whoa.